The Craziest Celebrity Conspiracy Theories Part 7.
Everyone seems to think that I'm Adele.
It was said that this was done so that they could double on the earnings from just pitching one person's voice to make it sound like two different artists. And up until the Grammys, they had not been seen in the same room together. So unless this was an incredibly quick change, I think this theory is put to bed.
Now, this is scary. It's said, but not proven, that every single Disney princess is supposed to represent a disorder. Psychologists took a study down, and they said in every Disney princess there's a clear disorder that they have. Firstly, Belle was captured and put in a castle, so this is called Stockholm Syndrome, which means you fall in love with your captor. That's why she fell in love with the Beast, because he is the one that captured her. Ariel. If you notice, Ariel has a big ship, and there's so many things around her, so she's a hoarder, and that's a form of OCD. She has so much stuff on her ship, but she doesn't throw it away. Another easy one is Alice in the Wonderland. She sees caterpillars walking around and imagines a lot of things that aren't there, which is basically schizophrenia. Crazy, right? Elsa and Anna, they're really reckless. Elsa is the cold sister who has a short temper, and Anna is the warm sister that is kind all the time, which is why the sisters are thought to represent bipolar. Did you ever notice this when you watched
He talks about bringing the boys to Pleasure Island, then he starts whispering what happens to the boys.
What? How would you blokes like to make some real money? Well, and who do we have to, No, nothing like that. You see, I'm collecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys? And you see, and I takes them to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island? But the law, suppose they... No, there's no risk. They never come back as boys.
Jesus Christ. You found tunnels leading to Disney World?
These networks, Joe. These creepy underground roller coasters. This all happened when we were just excavating on my land out in northern Florida. We'd cut into this strange kind of corridor. As we'd went down to take a look, we're seeing all these doors riddled on the sides of the corridors, labeled Disneyland, Disney World, Universal Studios. Out of curiosity, we opened the door, labeled Disney World. And we'd seen this just incredible, like open abyss of cave, like atmosphere with these massive roller coasters just running all throughout and into the unseen depths of this cave. I approach this entrance to the coaster, and I just see the seats riddled with what I hope were fake skeletons, just locked into all these seats. Out of curiosity, I climb into one of these seats and tell my buddy to hit the lever. I had to know where it went. As it creeps up the track, I go off a drop into the pitch black cave, and this thing just takes flight. After hours of terror, I roll through a section that I recognize as an underground extension of Magic Kingdom, and I see a massive sign that says coaster. I prayed it would stop, but it never did. I just kept soaring back through the cave at speeds that made me feel sick. As I finally circled back to where I got on, I rolled past my buddy, who was still waiting for me, frantically messing with the lever, trying to get the ride to stop. As I rolled past him, back toward the drop, I said, "Tommy, get out of here. There's no way to stop it."
In the movie Monsters, Inc., if you had 4 dimensions, that's what it would look like. They take the doors home, they open the door, and they're in the closet of the kid that they're going to terrorize. That is what access to the 4th dimension looks like. We've got a nice broad desk here at this interview, right? Desk is 2 dimensions. It's got length and width. And I can start putting papers on this desk. If I'm an ant living in this surface of the desk, I say, no more room. But wait a minute, we are three-dimensional people, and I can put an organizer and stack things vertically. So I can take a sheet of paper, and now I can put it higher up than the surface of the desk. The ant will say, where did it go? You would have made that paper disappear into a third dimension. So now let's up this example by a dimension. You're storing boxes in a room. Oh, I ran out of room. No, you didn't. Let's open this four-dimensional door. You open it, put the boxes through the door, close the door, box is gone. That is a portal to a fourth dimension that can hold vastly more content than what you're stuck storing in the three-dimensional space of your room. They got the physics of four-dimensional portals completely accurate.
When I worked at Disneyland, you hear whispers about Club 33, but you don't know the truth until you're inside. I got my first shift there by accident covering for someone last minute, and that's when everything changed. From the outside, Club 33 looks like part of New Orleans Square, but inside, it's a playground for the elite. I've served people like Tom Cruise, Beyonce, and one night, P. Diddy. He came in with his entourage, and after his meal, he did something unexpected. He asked me if I wanted to hang out after my shift. I thought it was a joke, but he was dead serious. That night, I saw Club 33 in a whole new light. It wasn't just a secret spot for celebrities to escape the crowds. Something bigger was going on. Meetings in private rooms, conversations behind closed doors, things that felt out of place for a theme park. I'll never forget when Diddy whispered to one of the execs, "It's all set, just waiting for the signal." That's when I realized Club 33 isn't just a restaurant. It's part of something much larger, hidden right in the middle of Disneyland. The guests may be there for the magic, but behind those doors, something else entirely is going on. Club 33 is the center of a hidden network, operating right under everyone's noses. There's a secret about Disneyland that the company doesn't want you to know. If you rode the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in the 1960s, you might have noticed how real the skeletons looked. That's because when the ride first opened, all the skeletons were real human bones. They tried using fake ones, but Walt Disney thought they didn't look real enough. So they got real skeletons from UCLA's medical center. Today, Disneyland claims there are no human bones left on the ride, but some people don't believe that. The skull in the bedchamber scene has the most rumors. Insiders confirmed it was real, and some say it was donated by a former employee.
Sí.
One second. Right, I believe we have some footage that has been taken on a mobile phone. Let's have a look at it.
Look.
Something happened on the coast of Northern Ireland that no scientist wants to explain. A drone captured a section of the Giant's Causeway moving like a sealed stone door. It opened for seconds, exposed something inside the cliff that investigators later described as deeply disturbing.
Which means it was built by somebody. Someone bigger than us, someone better than us.
Then closed again without leaving a trace. Tourists felt the ground tremble. From the collapsing cliff bunker in China to the hidden Scottish pyramid and the Myra tombs that show signs of movement, the world holds terrifying anomalies. What appeared in Ireland now joins that list, and it may be the worst one yet. The moving rock door. The coastline of Northern Ireland is known for its cliffs and basalt columns, but nothing prepared investigators for what a drone recorded at the Giant's Causeway. A tourist launched the drone to capture the formations from above. As the camera hovered near a tall section of interlocking basalt pillars, one slab of stone shifted. It moved outward in a slow, controlled motion. It exposed a dark opening behind it. Several witnesses on the ground saw the same movement. Before anyone could react, the slab slid back into place. The rock sealed itself again. It looked completely solid. There was no gap where the opening had been. The basalt surface looked untouched, as if it had never moved at all. The investigation became far more serious when the first sonar sweep of the hidden cavity returned results that no one expected. The chamber behind the basalt door was not empty. The scan showed several tall, upright forms inside the hollow space. Their outlines were narrow and steady. They looked like human bodies, but they were far taller than any known ancient or modern population. The forms stood in an even line, spaced apart at exact intervals. The arrangement looked intentional, as if the figures had been placed there rather than formed by accident. Scientists who reviewed the scans in private admitted that the discovery did not match any known geological process. One geologist explained that basalt did not naturally form around objects in such perfect upright positions, unless the objects were already standing in place before the rock hardened. Another expert pointed out that the chamber's interior showed signs of rapid cooling. This meant the figures inside the space could have been trapped during a sudden volcanic event thousands of years ago. A violent eruption could have forced extremely hot material through underground cavities. Anyone standing inside the chamber at that moment would have been sealed inside when the molten basalt cooled and hardened. The posture of the forms supported this idea. They had been upright, not collapsed or lying down, which suggested they were caught without warning. The fear increased when sensors placed near the chamber detected faint vibrations behind the rock wall. The movement passed through the stone in a slow, repeating pattern. Researchers believed the vibration came from pressure shifts inside the sealed cavity, but some admitted it could be related to the figures inside. Authorities refused to release the sonar images. They denied all reports of humanoid silhouettes inside the causeway. They claimed the basalt door was a natural illusion and insisted that no internal chamber existed. At the same time, they quietly restricted access to the exact section of the formation where the opening had appeared. Scientists who continued monitoring the site remained uneasy. The UK's secret pyramid. People expect pyramids in Egypt. They expect them in Mexico. No one expects to find one hidden deep in the Scottish Highlands. Yet a granite pyramid stands there in the middle of an endless forest. The most disturbing part is that almost no one knows it exists. Queen Victoria ordered this pyramid to be built in 1861 after the death of her husband, Prince Albert. Her grief was overwhelming and began shaping her daily life. Historians often speak about Victoria's mental collapse after Albert died. She became fixated on mourning practices that were unusually intense even for her era. She wore black for the rest of her life. She demanded her servants keep Albert's belongings untouched. She forced the palace atmosphere into a state of permanent mourning. When someone reaches this level of obsession, it is natural to question whether she wanted something more from this pyramid than simple remembrance. This is why some researchers believe the structure may hold meanings that go far beyond a memorial. It may reflect a dark fascination with death that she never spoke about openly. The pyramid is 41 feet tall and perfect in shape. It sits alone on a hill inside Balmoral Estate. 10 other stone cairns surround the area.
This is the secret technology hidden beneath the Pyramid of Khafre, and it was never meant to be found. In the 1990s, a team of archaeologists uncovered something extraordinary beneath the Pyramid of Khafre. 4 massive chambers, each containing a towering pillar made of an unknown metallic alloy. The pillars hummed with energy, as if they were ancient batteries. After weeks of research, the team discovered how to recharge the pillars. When activated, they emitted a low, resonant frequency that seemed to sync with the Earth itself. The hieroglyphs on the walls described the pillars as part of a defense mechanism created by an advanced civilization long before recorded history. But as the team continued their work, strange things began to happen. Equipment malfunctioned, communication devices went silent, and some researchers claimed to hear whispers in a language no one could understand. One by one, the archaeologists vanished. The project was classified as top secret and all records were buried. In 2023, a leaked document revealed the truth. The pillars weren't just batteries. They were part of a global defense system designed to protect Earth from an unknown threat. The final note from the lead researcher read, "We awakened something ancient, and now it's watching us."
Around 500 to 600 BC, Solon, the Greek lawmaker, visited Egypt. He met with an Egyptian high priest who welcomed him. The priest told Solon about a superior civilization who had been destroyed by water and fire. He said that the gods had purged the earth and that this superior and advanced civilization had been known by the name Atlantis. The priest continued to ridicule Solon's distinct lack of knowledge and told him how unsophisticated the Greeks were to think that this is the first time civilization had come this far. He said the Greeks are a young civilization in comparison to the Atlanteans. When Solon questioned the priest more, he told him that civilization has existed many times. The earth has been purged many times over. All of these times have been recorded, and we hold records of them here in our temples. He said that the Greeks and their people have only experienced plagues and floods, but no knowledge of all that happened in old times in this land or their own. The priest continued to tell Solon of the times before the Greeks. He said, "Solon, concerning the people of your country, the history you hold is little better than children's tales." A bemused Solon continued to listen to the priest. He said, "For, in the first place, you remember but one flood, though many had occurred previously. There was a time, Solon, before the greatest destruction by water, when what is now called the city of Athens was the bravest in war and extremely well organized in all other respects as well. It is said that it possessed the most splendid works of art and the noblest civic organization of any people under heaven of which we have heard anything about." The priest continued to explain the character of the city and the people that preceded Athens 9,000 years earlier. Regarding the citizens who lived 9,000 years ago then, I will tell you about them. For in front of the mouth which you Greeks call, as you say, the Pillars of Heracles, there was an island which was larger than Libya and Asia together. This island was called Atlantis. The priest continued to tell Solon all about their great achievements and advances in technology before a great flood destroyed Atlantis. Solon reported back his findings, to which it was passed down through generations until Plato documented the visit. Perhaps in that case we have known where Atlantis is all along. We have just not been looking there.
This book was never meant to be opened, yet someone did. What you're looking at is an ancient manuscript discovered in extremely fragile condition. The pages show disturbing human anatomy, strange symbols, and unknown illustrations. Some researchers believe it was used for forbidden medical knowledge. Others think it was connected to rituals, pain, or even death. What makes this book terrifying is not its age, but the level of detail that suggests advanced understanding of the human body. No author is known. No language has been fully decoded. and no one knows why these images were created. So here's the question. Is this lost medical science or something far darker? Tell me what you think in the comments, and follow for more real mysteries like this.
In 1953, on the outskirts of Vix in northern Burgundy, a curious archaeologist by the name of René Geoffroy made a mind-blowing discovery. Beneath the chalky soil, the excavation revealed a 2,500-year-old burial mound, and inside, there was something that defied all expectations. Within the burial chamber were the remains of the Lady of Vix, a Celtic noblewoman resting atop a ceremonial chariot, untouched for millennia. Yet, it was the treasures encircling her that truly astonished René Geoffroy and his team. As they dug deeper, something else emerged, a masterpiece of Mediterranean craftsmanship known as the Vix Crater. Adorned with Greek alphabetical markings, this huge 460-pound bronze vessel is the largest ever discovered. With a capacity to hold over 1,000 liters of wine, this enormous Greek artifact somehow made it all the way to southern France.
It is impossible to build the pyramids. Even with the technology we have now, we would struggle to build them. So how did they do it thousands of years ago? Well, it's very likely that the entire world experienced a cataclysmic disaster that knocked us back into the Stone Age. And those people who were around before us were more advanced than we are today. Think about it. The materials they used for these pyramids come from the mountains, hundreds of miles away. The Great Pyramid is almost aligned perfectly to true north, south, east, and west. The coordinates for the Pyramid of Giza matches exactly to the speed of light. But that's just a coincidence, right?